Cooking and baking, the mathematical artistry from kitchen to table. Cooking and baking both involve the use of mathematics in various ways. One of the most basic ways in which math is used in these contexts is in measuring ingredients. Measuring correctly is crucial in cooking and baking, as it can affect the final outcome of the dish. For example, if a recipe calls for 2 cups of flour, but you accidentally use 2.5 cups, the final product may be too dry or dense. Another way in which math is used in cooking and baking is in the process of scaling recipes. A recipe that serves 4 people may need to be scaled up to serve 8 or scaled down to serve 2. This requires an understanding of basic mathematical concepts such as ratios and proportionality. In addition, many recipes specify ingredient amounts in weight rather than volume, requiring the use of measuring scale to make exact measurements. When it comes to more advanced techniques, such as pastry making and bread baking, math plays an even more crucial role. Pastry chefs use math to calculate the proportions of ingredients in doughs and icings in order to achieve the desired texture and flavor. For example, a ratio of 2. 1 sugar to butter in an icing recipe will yield a sweeter and less firm icing than a 1 ratio. In bread baking, the use of math is necessary to calculate the amount of yeast and salt needed to achieve the desired rise and flavor in the bread. For example, if the recipe calls for a certain amount of flour and water, a baker must also calculate the correct amount of yeast and salt to add, based on the weight of the flour. The baker must also take into account the temperature of the ingredients and the environment to determine the optimal amount of yeast to use. Additionally, cooking and baking often involve the use of precise temperatures and timing, which require a basic understanding of mathematical concepts such as measurement and conversion. In baking, for instance, recipes often specify temperatures in degrees Fahrenheit, while ovens may be calibrated in degrees Celsius. In such cases, a cook or baker must be able to convert between the 2 units of measurement in order to achieve the correct temperature. Furthermore, the understanding of geometry and spatial relationship could be useful in cooking. For example, when cooking with multiple pots and pans on the stovetop, a cook must understand how the pots and pans will fit on the stove and how the heat will be distributed. Additionally, in pastry making, understanding of geometric shapes and how they will bake, such as a round or square cake, can affect the final outcome of the dish. Overall, cooking and baking require a strong foundation in math in order to achieve accurate and consistent results. Whether measuring ingredients, scaling recipes, calculating proportions, converting units of measurement, or understanding geometric shapes, math plays a vital role in these culinary arts.